here in my garden I have this cucumber that I've trained to go up this little trellis. The reason I want to show you this is how easy it is to train cucumbers to go vertically, where they stay healthier and they don't take up space in your garden. They're perfect for a large container. You want to have a large container like this one and a sturdy trellis that has long legs. Oh, this variety of cucumber is a vining type. It's not really a natural climber. They're kind of wimpy when it comes to growing up. You need to help them a little bit. So we put a couple plants in the base of this, and as they grew, wove them through. They do form tendrils. You'll see some of the tendrils that have actually died on this plant from the heat, but there are also tendrils down below, which we'll focus on in a minute, that help lift the plant up. You'll see though, as the plant is growing, here's a live tendril. This will eventually grab around this piece of the trellis. Here's a baby cucumber, which is hanging down vertically from the plant, and the great thing about this is the fruit stays clean, it stays disease-free because it's up in the air, off the soil, with lots of air circulation. We have a baby fruit here, isn't that lovely? He'll be ready to harvest in another few days. I left a few older fruits on this plant just to demonstrate how the whole process works. It's starting to show a little paleness, a little yellow. It's probably a little past prime. It's probably going to be pretty seedy. It's still usable, still edible, but it's not going to be as tasty perhaps as this little guy here in about a week. So keep an eye on your cucumbers. You want to, because they grow very quickly. When they get big, they get very seedy. So you want to, because cucumbers grow very quickly, you want to check your plant every few days, make sure that nothing has gotten out of control, because I guarantee that if you turn your back on it, the little cucumber you see one day is going to be the size this big before you know it. Now, let's take a closer look at this cucumber and point out a couple other things that are interesting. If you look down here, you'll see the birth of a baby cucumber. Here's the flower. This has been fertilized, and the baby cucumber is right behind it. It's that bulge right behind the flower. That flower will fall off, and that cucumber will slowly develop. The key is that you need pollinators to pollinate these flowers. Once they're pollinated, they're fertilized, and they form these little baby cucumbers, which will go from that to this other one I showed you a minute ago in maybe a week to 10 days. They grow really quickly once they're fertilized. Now you may notice that some of the leaves on this plant are a little bit blotched, have some holes. Don't worry about that. It's almost kind of a natural thing with cucumbers. They're never going to be perfect unless you use an insecticide on them. I don't recommend you do that. It's not going to affect their fruit. It's just going to affect the looks of the foliage. So I wouldn't worry about it. I don't worry about it, and I don't think you should worry about it.